Hunter.
All right, what's truly good with you guys? Today I'm going to show you my day-to-day workflow with the Push 3 in combination with Ableton 12.1 and just how I really get down and how I get work done. So let's get right into it. All right, so I'm going to start with some drums, and today, guys, I'm going to be using the chill hop kits just to give me a vibe. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and quantize that. Yeah. All right, let's cut some hi-hats over that. All right, then I'm gonna add a little bit of an impact on that downbeat. I'm gonna add this yeah. So guys, we're gonna chop up some samples together, but today we're gonna use Serato so we can get the stems from the sample to be able to customize it. I'm actually gonna take the sync off so I can get some more creative, interesting chops. Kind of crazy, so let's try that with the beat. Woo! Bet. So what I'm gonna do now is kind of skip ahead and kind of mix into the God particle as I go. I just like to have that feeling. So we're gonna come over here to main, just type in the God particle, one of my favorite joints to use on the master bus. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate this 4 times, or get 4 copies of Serato, 4 instances. And so for each instance, we're basically going to isolate the stem. So for this one, we don't really have a vocal, but we'll go ahead and just isolate the stems anyway. So that's the one with the vocal. And then for the next instance, we're going to go ahead and do the keys, or the other, shall we say, for this instance. And then for the next instance, we're going to do the bass. And then for the last one, we'll do the drums. We'll isolate the drums. Just like that. So now, so since we don't necessarily have a vocal, we don't necessarily need the top one here. But what I'll do with this top one here is I can actually rename this. So I'm gonna actually do this in real time for you guys, because I actually like what I did with that chop. So I'm gonna do Command R, and we're gonna name this R&B Soul Chop. And that's gonna maintain all the chops that we have. And then what I'll do is I'll put it in my user library and add it to my Serato chops. So I'll just put that in there just like that. Bam. So now I have this chop ready to go whenever I open up Ableton again. And again, this is why I love being in Ableton. So there's the other. There's the bass. And then the drums. So now we're going to add our own bass. Now for this bass, I'm going to use my Subsequent 37 expansion pack. So now we can actually mute the bass from the sample. Now we have it wide open to do whatever we need to do. Now guys, if you sincerely want to take your production to the next level, to not be limited to any DAW, then the viral sound is going to be the perfect solution for you. This is where we cover chord progressions, understanding them from scratch, bass lines, how to come up with sick and unique head-turning bass lines. And not only that, but we also just cover the whole production process and mixing process. And if you're a beginner to recording, we cover the concepts of recording. But guys, it doesn't stop there. We also include a phenomenal community. This is where we can share our ideas, communicate with each other, and who knows, maybe even feature you on one of my next releases. Now guys, if you're interested in this, I'll leave this tag below for you. This is the viral sound. Go ahead and tap in. I'll leave everything tagged below. This is literally insane. So what we're gonna do here is kind of get a little bit organized and get ready to commit to a few things. So what I'm gonna do here is actually freeze and flatten all of these pieces of MIDI, the sample here, if you will. We're gonna go ahead and freeze and flatten all of those. So now we have these all as audio ready to go. Now, what I recommend us all do, let's do this together, Command S, and let's actually save this because I actually like this vibe. And then in Ableton, we do have to do this extra step, but it is very necessary. We come over here and go to File, and go to Collect All and Save. And what it's going to do is it's going to save everything that we've just done into its own compiled folder, this designated folder. So we have all of the audio files and samplers all jammed into the same folder. So it's not looking for it in random places of your computer. So now that we have this, so what I like to do is have one variation, so it's not the same all the way through. So one thing that I'll do is I'll take the same thing we've just done so far. We could do Shift, Command, and D, and this is going to duplicate what we've just done, but you can click on any region and it'll do it automatically, and I think that's a dope shortcut. So what I'll do on the second variation, so we're going to do Command L on this region, hit S to solo it. All right. Now, one thing that I like to do is we could take this down an octave. So we could do Shift and down. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is actually create a new track. So we're going to duplicate that by doing Command D, clicking over here, do Command D, get the same thing. And so now we're going to do it on this track. So we can treat this a little bit different. So right now, set to beats. I like that beat up sound on the warping. Let's see what it sounds like with Complex Pro. That's kind of dope. So we'll rock with where we are. So what we're going to do is add some like a filter on that. And so what I like to do to incorporate the push to make this a little bit easier for myself is I'll start with the audio effects, and we can say a filter, auto filter. And so now I see everything on the screen here, which is dope. So now what I can do is change this frequency from the push, if you will, like this. Play around with some different ideas. Instead of using the mouse, I love this. Let's get it in with the beat. So what I'll do in a sense like this is I'll actually record what I've just done. So we'll take this frequency right over here and let's record it. Let's set it, and then we'll record what we just did. Perfect. So now we have that locked in. Now we can take it back. Now I'll duplicate this again. Now on this version of it, I'll add something interesting. So let's add some keys to this. Let's get a little bit more musical. Perfect. So to arrange super quickly and efficiently in Ableton, outside of using the session view here, using the arrangement view, we could do some pretty dope stuff. So we're gonna basically highlight this empty space here. We're gonna do Shift Command X. That's gonna do cut time. Now I'm gonna insert some time back. So how much time do I need? I'm gonna give ourselves 4 bars to create a new set. So now we can drag and drop, copy the sample as is, as it were. So we'll do this, bam, 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 and we'll turn these back on because we turned them off, the bass and the drums. So we're only going to use the bass and the drums for the intro here. So we have this. So after that, I'm gonna mute everything, MPC style, track mute. Perfect. And then we're gonna put our That's Hunter tag right in the middle of that mute. So we're gonna put this right in there.
That's Hunter.
Perfect. And again, I love this workflow with Ableton, just having everything readily available.
That's Hunter. That's Hunter.
Perfect. So I'm gonna come over here to main and slide my DJ effects over the master bus so I can just control everything. Now we can actually perform this beat. So let's go for it.
That's Hunter.
All right, guys, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you guys got any value out of this video, give your brother a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss anything else from the channel, and I'll holler at you guys on the next one. Peace.